Hello. So Tuesday, the 7th of January 2019, things have changed a bit. The sun has moved. The sun is now conjunct Saturn. Now that has a lot to do with being real and keeping it real, as I'm always talking about. It's kind of important to make realistic judgments of things. That's actually not too difficult today, but there are things pulling us in different directions. Anyway, the moon herself, she's actually in Gemini. She's going to stay in Gemini and move into Cancer on Thursday the 9th, wherever we are in this part of the world. 8:43 a.m. UK time. That means midnight 43 Pacific on Thursday the 9th. The moon is going to enter Cancer, and 3:43 a.m. Eastern. So for quite a while ahead of us now, we've got a Gemini moon. It's sociable. It's quite cheerful as well. It's quick thinking time. You can think of something kind of quite quickly in just about any situation, or at least rather more quickly than you usually can. So that's positive. Good time for the mind as well, broadening the mind. Anything intellectual is favoured. Studying things, good time for that. And also, you know, when people come together to study or just to try and move a situation forward, conferences, gatherings, that kind of thing. It's changeable though, you know, things can get scattered, and it's not that easy to come up with tangible results under a Gemini moon. It's not impossible, not by a long way, but not that easy as well. Let's see what the moon is at the moment. 87.0%, bang on 87%, just as I'm doing this. Full moon in Cancer is coming up on Friday, the 10th of January, and that is going to be 19:21 GMT. So let me see, 11:21 AM on Friday Pacific, 12:21 PM in the afternoon on the east coast of the States and Canada, and not actually until Saturday in New Zealand, but it's the same moment, you know. The various different times are just the way we organise our world and organise our thoughts. We think we're pretty clever with that, do we not? But it sort of gets confusing. It really does. Now, Uranus is coming towards the end of retrograde, so that is going to be a bit of a breathing space. That's on the 20th of January, actually. So a little while ahead of us just yet, about 13 days, not quite a fortnight until Uranus goes direct. And then there's a blissful time of absolutely nothing retrograde whatsoever, but it's short-lived until the 2nd of February when Juno goes retrograde. But that's way out there in the universe. Doesn't have massive effects on us. So, anyway, things generally speaking are clearing up. The only thing is, you know, that penumbral lunar eclipse in Cancer coming up on Friday. There is a video about that I put up. It's a little bit of a scattered video, actually. I think the moon must have just about arrived in Gemini when I was doing that, but do check that one out. So today, the sun is conjunct Saturn. It has actually moved a little bit, so keeping it real. And it says here, locating responsibilities, which is a very polite way of saying deciding who's to blame for things, quite honestly. So it could be a bit argumentative. Really depends on the situation that you're in during today. Transit of beginnings and endings, delays, obstacles, people cooling down a bit. And the thing to do is be patient and keep things organised. That is seriously favoured. On the other hand, the moon is square Neptune, confused, uncertain, highly strung as well, feelings running quite high as well. It's the kind of time when things could come to a head, things that have maybe been building up and bubbling up for some time. Altered perceptions lead to misunderstandings, don't they always? But that is definitely an effect of the moon being square Neptune at the moment. On the other hand, and we keep going back and forth here, but you know, there's always a balance to things. There really is always a balance to things. Mercury is sextile Neptune. So the moon square Neptune, Mercury sextile Neptune, and Mercury being the planet of the Roman god of communication. Imaginative conversations, but also conversations and discussions about things that actually lead to closure, that actually get you somewhere. So really quite positive. It's also, in terms of Mercury sextile Neptune, very good for planning the future. So in terms of communication, that is really, really positive thing to get talking about. That ought to bring people together, be a uniting force, and make things feel a whole lot better than generally speaking they usually do. So Venus void in Aquarius, we've got strong emotions leading to action again. So that is really quite a thing today. Perceptions being altered with the moon square Neptune playing into that. It ends up with people taking risks, sometimes not actually taking risks for real in a practical way, but talking about taking risks, winding each other up. That could really be a thing today. So as always, keep it real, but astrology is actually making us keep it real now, because everything that I look at on the chart today seems to be pulling one way, and then the next thing's pulling the other way. So it really is positive in that sense, because it does bring balance. Uranus, as it's coming up to the end of its retrograde, it's void in Taurus at the moment. So unconventional actions can be kind of coming up. Things that are radical, things that are surprising. So again, that plays into the whole thing of misunderstandings, really. It looks like it could easily be a day of misunderstandings, but it's really positive, just that thing of Mercury sextiling Neptune just means that we can actually find closure, we can actually plan the future, and it's just, things are more likely to turn out in a way that's appropriate to the situation we're in, and that makes such a difference, doesn't it? That is, more than anything, is likely to get people working and thinking in one accord. So really quite a positive day, but look out for misunderstandings, okay? If someone says something to you that makes you just, breathe, count to 10 and think, is that what they really meant? Is that what they really meant to say? And, think before you speak as well. You've got the advantage here by following astrology, you see, because not everybody knows this. And that really is what astrology does for us. It helps us to understand what's going on and just to be in a better place to find good opportunity moments to say things, and what you might call bad opportunity moments. They're a good opportunity, really, but they're an opportunity to see when things could be going in a negative direction. So, a day of two halves today, each half pulling in a different direction. I'm going to leave it there. Have a fantastic Tuesday, the 7th of January, friends. I'll be along soon with the Leo Tarot reading and yet more astrology coming up tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, please. Subscribe, tap the bell so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment. It's always good to read those. And I'll see you again very soon. Peace.